Hello everyone and welcome to the Cathedral of Tennis, the Adams Tennis Complex. I'm Dylan Simmons alongside Izzy Gutierrez. And Izzy, what a great matchup we got today for MTSU against Alabama A&M.
I'm really excited to see how we play against Alabama A&M. We did just have a game this morning against Memphis, and that was a successful win, so I'm excited to see us continue this day.
Absolutely, huge 4-0 win for MTSU. Now we're going to throw it down courtside for senior ceremonies, and we'll join you with that in just a second. Coach Born-Dame discussing it, and there he is.
Yes, we have two seniors this year. We have Chris Edge and Stepan Hollis. They are both really great players for our team, and they worked super hard this season.
Chris and Stepan, of course, have been absolutely dynamite for MTSU thus far. First up, we got Stepan there.
Stepan Hollis is from Zazova, Czech Republic.
From Zazova, the Czech Republic.
I said it right? Good. All right.
5'11", previously from New Mexico, and he is a graduate student, so a super senior is Stepan Hollis, and has been absolutely incredible for MTSU. 20-12 singles record this year, and a 20-8 doubles record.
Named to the All-Mountain West team in both singles and doubles.
And as you can tell hearing from Coach Born-Dame, a really special player.
Definitely a really nice member of our team, very supportive to the rest of the players, and has made a huge impact.
Of
course, we're hearing Coach Born-Dame talk about how he was in the Mountain West as well. Stepan, of course, was a transfer from New Mexico beforehand, and now, of course, getting this great limelight here at MTSU. And of course, his recognition and his great play has been recognized, and he's been a difference maker, and a nice ovation from the crowd there.
That was perfect. You guys clap so I can take a breath. During his time with Middle Tennessee, Stepan has now won 29 overall matches and has a 16-3 record with Chris Edge in doubles.
16 overall with Chris Edge in doubles, which again just shows his consistency as a player.
Singles rotation, providing the spark for the Blue Raiders in the Blue Gray Championship, clinching all 3 matches over the weekend. Hollis will graduate with a Master's in Science with a concentration in Finance. His plan post-graduation is to obtain his OTP and enter the finance industry.
Very smart guy, Master's in Science and Engineering as well. Stepan's a guy who, again, has a lot of knowledge along not only the game of tennis, but outside of it as well, and takes his studies very seriously. And hearing that from Coach Born-Dame right now.
Definitely you have to be a great student at MTSU to be a part of such a great
I call
organization.
Steve the silencer.
It's good to have the complete package, and Stepan definitely has that. Of course, me and you and I have seen him whenever he's on the court. He's a guy who can just make a difference at a moment's notice. And one thing that's always impressed me about him has been his consistency. He's always able to play a consistent game of tennis and never quite let emotions get to his head in too rough of a way. Was always able to keep a level head and play at an extremely high level, which is maybe one of his most incredible characteristics.
I'd have to agree with you.
He was professional about it, and I'm losing my track here. The reason the silencer is when we go on visiting trips and whatnot, the teams heckle us and they want to beat us badly, and Steve just shushes them.
Coach Born-Dame is talking about how he would be characterized as the silencer.
How about it for the silencer today?
And that's a good nickname. He would be LeBron James proud with that attitude and how he plays, and I think that's a very fitting nickname for a very fitting player here at MTSU. And of course he's made this a home, and we've been super proud and happy to have him here, and gets a nice ovation, and what a nice send-off for Stepan Hollis with just another incredible season and an incredible career.
Mr. Christopher Edge.
And next up, Chris Edge from Carlisle, England. And Chris, of course, has been one of the cornerstones, one of the foundation building blocks here at MTSU.
Chris Edge has been a crucial member of the Blue Raider squad for the past 5 seasons. In those 5 seasons, Chris has helped the Blue Raiders capture 2 conference titles in 2019 and 2021. Edge has earned 206
helped MTSU capture 2 conference titles, has been here for 5 years, and you can hear the applause from the fans as well.
It is the second Blue Raider in program history to win 100 singles and doubles matches.
Only the second player in MTSU history to win both 100 singles and 100 doubles matches. I think so much.
These numbers now about the Raider are not even correct, because he won again this earlier today in singles and doubles, so I believe they are at 105 singles wins and 103 doubles wins.
Coach Bourdin referencing his previous success against Memphis earlier today. He took home a singles and doubles win there as well.
Edge will also
Very
depart
impressive.
MT inside the top 10 in
Especially
Blue
against
Raiders
the
history
number 31
in
team in the
doubles
nation
winning
going into this
percentage.
one.
Chris has won numerous awards during his tenure with the Blue Raiders, was named the 2020 Conference USA Co-Player of the Year, two-time All-CUSA
And of course,
first
who
team
could forget he was
singles,
the 2020
one-time
Co-Conference
CUSA
Player of the
first team
Year
doubles,
here from
three-time
MTSU and has
All-CUSA
represented
second
this
team
team proud.
doubles, and
You can almost say he's been a
one-time
face
second
of the
team
tennis program, and
All-CUSA
he's been kind of, like we said, that rock, that bedrock the team has needed to play at an extremely high level. Chris Edge has always been someone that you can count on.
There's
I
more.
agree with you.
Edge has also won the 2021 Outstanding Doubles Teams of the Championship Award, paired with former teammate Tom Moonen. Off the court, Chris has been named as CUSA Commissioner's Honor Roll 3 times. And earned ITA Scholar Athlete honors twice.
And of course, he's been an ITA Scholar Athlete and has been named as Commissioner's Honor Roll 3 times, has Chris Edge, so another very intelligent player. And of course, all these players in the tennis team, very, very intelligent. And Chris Edge, great evidence of that. Got to be smart to be able to play it at a high level, and Chris Edge proves that every time he steps on the court.
Amazing golf courses.
He just said that he's amazing at golf. What an achievement.
Absolutely, we should put him out there on the Masters right now. He could give the best of the best a run for their money.
Chris is the greatest player that I've ever had.
Wow.
That's a huge statement from Coach Bourdin right there. Calling Chris Edge the greatest player he's ever had. The GOAT is what he referenced there. And I got to say, when Coach Bourdin calls you the greatest player he's ever had, that's against some tough competition. To say he's the greatest player in the Bourdin era, though, I don't know if that's a huge stretch, to be honest, because Chris Edge has been an absolute bedrock of this team. And again, Coach Bourdin, you can hear it in his voice how much he values Chris Edge.
I agree.
Last year was 17-8, and this year the team is currently 22-3. That's a combined 92 wins and 33 losses, with a winning percentage of 75%.
And while Chris Edge has been here, they are 92-33, Izzy. That is incredible in terms of consistency. A 75% win percentage.
Wow.
You know,
Unreal.
Chris and
Very much so.
I know there's been days, and they're going to get a kick out of this. I know that they like to play darts, and they're a partner.
Of course, one of the fun pastimes of this tennis team, they like to play darts, and see Coach Bourdin talk about this story here in a second.
Up there on the dartboard. And that's okay, because I have learned a lot. I have grown as a coach. I've become a better person because I've coached Chris. And I'm grateful for my time with him. And
Wow, Coach Bourdin's starting to tearing up.
Yeah, he's getting emotional right now, and you can tell by the passion in his voice, and of course Chris feeling a little bit right now too. And great relationship between these two, and Chris Edge will be a player that will be remembered forever here in the annals of MTSU tennis history. Not only an outstanding player, but an outstanding person, and I think that's something important to remember as well. Congratulations to both Chris Edge and Stepan Hollis, our two MTSU tennis super seniors. And they hold up the nice plaques there, and there's no denying how huge their contributions have been.
They've definitely made a huge impact, as you could see from Coach Bourdin's speech. Now they're going to take some photos, finish out this senior ceremony.
Always a bit of a bittersweet moment when you come out and there you see the photo there with Chris Edge, Jimmy Bourdin, and others from the MTSU tennis organization. But, of course, Stefan coming in to celebrate as well. But it's always bittersweet when you step off of that court knowing that you only have a few games left. And obviously the season is winding down for these guys. This will be their last home matchup before they head into the tennis tournaments coming up here shortly and for CUSA. So they know the importance of this game, and they know the importance of this moment. And it's these moments as a player that you want to value and make sure you hold on to for as long as you can.
Definitely a really great point. I think that it's really nice we're playing Alabama AM today. Hopefully we'll be able to come through with a nice win for our seniors.
Rest of the team getting in on the action, having some fun. And, of course, a lot of these guys, younger freshmen and sophomores, they too have learned a lot from Chris and Stepan, what they've been able to provide to this team. Leaders as well, and that's another thing. And, of course, the cardboard cutouts coming into play.
We should get those.
That would be pretty great. We could
Yeah.
put that in the newsroom or
think
put
it'd
it
be
right here
perfect.
on the booth.
Yep.
I mean, I would feel confident, and I would know we would win if I had a standout of Chris and Stefan looking at us at all times. I would just feel that much more confident. And I've always been confident watching these two on the court. And again, I'm sure we're going to see more of that here as their careers wind down towards an end. But what a great ceremony, very fitting ceremony for these two. And once again, we'd like to provide our congratulations here from MTN Sports, Chris Edge and Stepan Hollis on a brilliant set of careers here at the Adams Tennis Complex and across the USA and the nation. And now have led this team to unparalleled heights. By the way, folks, the number 18 team in the nation in the latest ITA rankings. And we'll get to see more of that action here shortly against Alabama A&M. And that concludes the Super Senior Ceremony. So what a moving ceremony that was, Izzy. And like we said before, Chris and Stepan, truly generational players.
They've definitely been working really, really hard this season and throughout their whole tennis career here at MTSU. And I think you could show that today throughout the matches this season and kind of wrapping things up, as you said.
Absolutely. So now with the ceremony over, it's time to get down to brass tacks. MTSU will take on Alabama A&M today, and this is the second of a doubleheader for MTSU today. Like we mentioned earlier, already have played Memphis today. Obviously, that will be something to watch out for. And I think we were talking a little bit about this before the matchup. It'll be interesting to see what lineups Coach Borndane throws out there for the guys.
I definitely agree. This win this morning was actually their 16th match in the row that they won. So I'm interested to see how this next match plays out.
Absolutely. Now, looking at Alabama A&M, they're a team that has had their successes but also their struggles. They come into this one with a 2-12 record overall and have not won since March the 14th against Prairie View. So they're kind of looking to break a streak of inconsistency, trying to get back on to the top of the ladder, so to speak. Izzy, I think this is a big opportunity, especially against a high-octane team such as MTSU.
I agree. I think that MTSU has been really strong and they're able to pull through. We can look at our history from our past few matches that this will be a great match.
Absolutely will be. Now, looking back over at Alabama A&M, we've got some great players for them. First up, we've got Napthot with an 8-7 singles record, 2-3 doubles. And, of course, want to get on to their head coach, Wilmus Barandi, his first year actually here at Alabama A&M. This is his first ever head coaching job, so he's kind of getting into this whole thing and kind of trying to approach this from a different way. Interesting background information, originally from Kenya and originally a tennis junior champion from Kenya as well.
Wow.
So this is a guy with a lot of tennis experience and played at Alabama A&M and now has come into his own here for the Bulldogs and is trying to help them towards great accomplishments and trying to get them with a big upset here against MTSU. And we're going to toss it over to break here, but we will be back here on the other side of the break with MTSU versus Alabama A&M. Don't go anywhere here on MTN Sports here at CUSA.TV.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet apart. Fight! 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got two.
I'm going to that game.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Adams Tennis Complex. The Masters Tournament may be in session, but this is where the biggest action in all of the sports landscape is taking place here, as the Middle Tennessee State men's tennis team takes on the Alabama A&M Bulldogs here shortly. I'm here with Izzy Gutierrez, and Izzy, what an incredible matchup, and we're just about to get started.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I can start reading some of our opening lineup for our doubles matches. We have Stein Slumped and Rocha playing against Nietzsche and Molada. Would you want to read the rest?
Yes, so on court 3 we should have Stepan Hollis and Chris Edge, the two seniors that are going to be starting out for MTSU. And then on court 1 we got John Chen and Oscar Brostrom-Polson. So should be interesting to see how MTSU will handle that. And we're going to be heading to court 2 here, as we've got Chen and Brostrom-Polson already in session and currently sporting a very nice 40-0 lead. So already MTSU getting off to a hot start here, Izzy.
Wow, definitely getting a strong lead, which I was expecting to see. I think that coming off the previous wins against Alabama A&M, I think this is a really strong start.
Score has updated here, and we will wait for official confirmation, currently showing at 40-40. And looks like the first game may have already concluded, and it looks like MTSU has already taken a point there. So
wow,
John Chen and Oscar Brostrom-Polson wasting no time like Usain Bolt out of the gate, taking an early victory. And I think that's very interesting, Izzy, because that's already kind of showing you how quickly MTSU is looking to get out in front here.
I agree. They definitely want to start off with that strong lead with a nice doubles point. So I think once we work our way through that, it'll just be a breeze throughout the rest of the matches.
And if we know anything about Oscar and John, they are players who are playing with something to prove here today. Younger guys, but guys who are very talented and have shown that in spades. And I think that's one of the great things about MTSU. They've got the older guys like Stepan and Chris, but these younger guys as well continue to play at a very high level and are proving that right now, and shows how much depth MTSU truly has.
You can definitely see our younger players are kind of taking steps in the right direction to be like Chris and Stepan throughout the years, and I think they're just on the right track to get there.
And nicely done that time, I believe by Nietzsche, as he was able to just pole vault that one over to the right side of the court. And MTSU will face a 15-0 deficit here. And of course, two other courts already in session here. And remember, doubles point accounts for 1 point to the total. And for MTSU, they've always been very good at getting that doubles point here early, as we're switching over now to court number 2, I believe. And yes, that is court number 2. So Stein and Pavel in session. And we'll see another serve here from Alabama A&M. Again, Bulldogs trying to snap a bit of a losing streak here. Nicely done that time. Broke the ankles.
Definitely a strong hit there. It's hard with that angle in that top corner.
Looked like Russell Westbrook there, just breaking the ankles. Was Stein slump, but I love the way he kind of extended his arm that time and was able to just slide it in there over the net. That takes a lot of great talent, Izzy.
I'd have to agree with you.
And we're going to move over to court number 3 now to check in on our other matchup. Chris Edge and Stepan Hollis, the two super seniors who were honored today just a few moments ago in the senior ceremonies. And already having some great success here, already with a victory, and I believe they just took their second one. So 2-0, Chris Edge and Stepan looking to leave one last mark here at the Cathedral of Tennis, the Adams Tennis Complex, and doing that in great spades right now.
Yeah, it must mean a lot for them to both be seniors playing together at your last home game. I think that would be pretty sentimental, especially having it be senior night. So I'm sure they're enjoying their time together, and they've probably played together a lot throughout their history here at MTSU. So what a great match.
A lot of experience between these guys, almost 10 years combined between these two when you consider how long they've been here, and that really shows the great veteranosity and the great play that they've exuded throughout that time. And we heard the words from Coach Borndame. What a great speech that he delivered, and he showed just how much these players mean to Murfreesboro and to the MTSU tennis. And another nice looking serve that time by Stepan, who again just delivers like the mailman and puts it right into the box. So MTSU having a lot of success there, 15-0 over there on court number 3. And Izzy, when MTSU usually gets that doubles point, that is a harbinger that they will usually take the victory.
I have to agree with you.
Moving back over to court number 1, as 2, excuse me, as we got Stein and Pavel. And Pavel serving from the left side. And looks like that one was in right on the back line. Beautifully done once again. And it's actually looks like they're going to wave it off, so he will get a second try. This one is in. Oh, wow, just scooped it out and got the double bounce as well. Nicely done by Pavel Model.
Definitely knew what he was doing with that shot, keeping it really tight to the net and having it have almost like it kind of stopped the ball. It was an interesting hit.
It was an interesting hit, but effective as well, and Coach Borndame likely liking what he's seeing so far. We talked about how MTSU was the favorite here in this one, and they are proving it so far as they've been able to just take care of business. And already, again, like we've mentioned, I know we're kind of something like a broken record, but they went up against a very tough ranked Memphis team here earlier today that came in with as the number 31 team in the ITA rankings, and MTSU had no issues at all in taking them out. Took a 4-0 victory, number 37 actually in the ITA rankings. I wanted to clear that up, excuse me. But either way, that shows just how good this MTSU team has been so far and really taking care of business right now.
Can definitely see that coming through. We're now switching over to court number 1.
Nice new tennis graphics there. Courtesy of TJ, our producer over there. Great job by him as always. And love to see the updated things. MTSU currently in any tie with this one is John Chin and Oscar Brostrom-Polson against Gallo and Nietzsche. 15-0 MTSU currently on top, trying to break the tie. And that's a good way to start right into the net, and that should make it 30-0 MTSU as John Chin gets the honors. And very nice play by Chin that time, Izzy.
I have to agree with you.
See discussion ensuing there between Chin and Brostrom-Polson. And communication is so key for these players as they're trying to play an effective game. You don't want to kind of get disoriented, and these players do a great job of that.
No, definitely want to have a plan going into each hit to make sure you know what you're doing.
And there was no stopping that one right there.
He knew exactly what he was planning to do there. Just strong hit down. There was no chance for Alabama A&M.
No, John Chin with an absolute cannonball from the racket, put it right into Gallo and allows MTSU to take a 40-0 lead. Break point coming up for MTSU. Chance to take a 2-1 lead, and that would give them the lead in all 3 doubles matchups. And they're going to, looks like, get that, and they will. So 2-1 MTSU, John Chin and Oscar Brostrom-Polson taking care of business there and quickly establishing momentum.
Definitely getting some stuff done right at the start of the match.
So far across the board, MTSU has had a lot of success overall and currently finding themselves in good position here against Alabama A&M. Even when you're taking on a team that hasn't had as much success as your other opponents, that's still no reason to look past them, and MTSU has done a great job of taking care of it as we're going to be joined back up here at the desk. But Izzy, you got to like what you're seeing out of MTSU so far.
I know. I'm really proud of our team. We're working really hard, and we're starting really strong. Having a ton of points already gained will be really successful, and hopefully winning that doubles point to go into our singles matches with a breeze.
Well said. And speaking of breezes, we haven't mentioned this yet, but MTSU was originally supposed to play this game outdoors.
That's true.
But due to the obviously cold weather here in Murfreesboro, it's almost been snowing and sleeting at different parts. This game did get moved back here in the Adams Tennis Complex, but that means that MTN Sports gets to cover it, so we're very happy about that. But in relation to that, it means that these players have had to kind of adjust and adapt to the new surroundings. We weren't expecting to play in here, and now they've got to play indoors for the first time in a few weeks. So it's definitely been a bit of an adjustment, but so far it doesn't seem like MTSU has been phased at all. In fact, it looks like they've almost been more comfortable as we're going to be heading to court 3 here in just a second.
I have to agree with you.
And the tennis ball reveals court number 3 as Chris Edge and Stepan Hollis. Again, up 2-1 right now, 30-15 advantage. Alabama A&M currently with the serve to the left side. And tried the shake and bake, went outside the out-of-bounds markers, though. And another thing to bring up is with doubles, you get more leeway in terms of where you can hit it on the court. You get both lines.
That is very true. Having those doubles alleys really have a huge impact to the size of the court. I did play tennis in high school, and I definitely felt the difference whenever I played doubles versus singles.
Absolutely. As a tennis player, you always like that doubles because you know you have a little bit more room to work with, and I'm sure tennis players would concur here in the college level. And a nice hit that time by A&M, just putting it and spiking it over the net. I believe that was Yang who was able to just pound it into the dirt.
That was a really nice shot.
Break point coming up for A&M here. Chance to tie this one up. So A&M against the two super seniors currently having some success. Again, they come in fresh, though. Haven't had to play games like Chris Edge and Stephon Hollis already have against Memphis. So that'll be something to be interested in. Of course, MTSU usually does not have problems with conditioning, but it will be interesting to see how it becomes a factor here. And looks like that ball will go back in the hands of A&M for the moment. We'll get an update here on the score, and it is going to be a 40-40 deuce situation, so deciding point upcoming, and this will be huge, Izzy. If Edge and Hollis can take this, they'll have a commanding 3-1 lead.
I'd have to agree with you. And having these both as our seniors, they've done so much throughout the season and their whole career here at MTSU. Stephon Hollis has won 9 straight singles matches coming into today's match, and now 10 because he won earlier. And wow. Edge is the second Blue Raider in MT history to have over 100 singles and doubles wins. These are both great things that Coach Borendane talked about during the senior ceremony, and you can see how that's playing through during this match.
They've shown how they've earned that there as well, as they take the 3-1 lead that time on the nice hit into the net. So Chris Edge and Stephon Hollis, again, taking care of business with their third break point, and that will get them to 3-1 here. Chance to continue to close this one out. So like what we're seeing there, and it will be, looks like Edge with the quick serve. And that one will fall short. And it looks like they're going to rule that one was passed. So Edge will get try number 2 here. This one will be in. Oh, my goodness.
Wow, that was an amazing hit.
Stephon Hollis just absolutely swatted that one away. And Alabama A&M could do literally nothing but just stand and watch as Stephon Hollis just flattened that one.
Yeah, they're definitely getting in the zone of just attack and get your points.
Absolutely, attack mode being instigated here, and looks like Edge will get another opportunity to serve here. Of course, Chris Edge, interesting, he serves with his left hand, a little bit different. You don't usually see that from tennis players, so that presents a bit more of a unique challenge for Alabama A&M.
It's true.
And we'll see what the ruling is. That could have been, looks like that one will be taken to 40-0. And looks like that will be, yes, 40-0. So MTSU with an opportunity here for their second break point. And if they can get it done here, that will make it 4-1 for Edge and Hollis. And they will get it done. Nicely done. Quick, business-like, and very, very impressive from Chris Edge and Stephon Hollis. The super seniors are not playing around today, is he?
They definitely are starting it fast. Now we're going to move over to court number 2.
And there is court number 2. As you currently see Stein and Pavel looking over, checking in with their success here momentarily, but currently have had a lot of success overall as a team this year, and a little bit of a different setup from what they usually have. Obviously, with a new opponent comes new sorts of lineups that we were interested in seeing, and this is one of those.
Definitely 2 great players here. You can see the way their feet work together. They know exactly where each other are on the court.
And looks like they currently, if I'm not mistaken, have a 4-0 lead, and that should be updated here in just a second. Potentially make it 5-0. So they have absolutely dominated the competition so far. I'd love to see that for Edge, Slump and Pavel Modal absolutely finding their way through. So again, like we said, MTSU had some struggles early on, but they're really starting to find form here.
Yeah, I think that they're really starting to realize like they can kick it into gear and keep pushing through.
Absolutely, as dominant as Tiger Woods is whenever he's in the Masters. And, of course, another great weekend here in sports with the Masters taking place. And really a fun time overall, NBA playoffs coming up. But also a reminder that Conference USA tournament will be coming up here for tennis here shortly. And we're going to be bringing you women's action there in the tournament here in just a couple weekends. So we're very excited for that. So while we had this free time, wanted to take that time. So really excited to be reporting on this. It should be a very, very fun tournament.
Yeah, definitely having this as our first time having the conference here is a really big deal for MTSU in general and MTSU tennis, but then having our broadcast will be really exciting to show everyone else what we're doing.
We're very honored and privileged to be able to call those games. Cannot wait to bring you that action, and we're going to be moving to court 2 here in just a second. And can't wait to see what's going on over there. Obviously, that game was already closed in when the last time we saw it, up 4-0, and we'll get an update there with that just a second. But again, like we said, and now we've got the transition coming over. And there is Stein, Slump, and Pavel Modal. Again, 5-0 lead here on Lawrence and Crespo. Lawrence, a freshman for Alabama A&M. And Crespo is a junior for Alabama A&M, so a bit of a mix of styles there for the Bulldogs. And kind of outsmarted MTSU that time. Looked almost as if it was going to the side, and MTSU might not have anticipated that.
Yeah, even though we are winning, there's still a lot of really good shots from Alabama A&M, and I think that's surprising our players and kind of making them realize, like, wow, I have to make sure I'm in the right mindset, because they definitely know what they're doing.
Stein and Pavel are two players not to be intimidated by their opposing players, but don't want to get too comfortable even with a 5-0 lead. And looks like that one was in as well. What a nice shot that time.
Very striking.
I believe that was Crespo who just put it right on the back line.
Right on that cusp. There was no room.
Absolutely no room. Nothing that could be done that time. So really, really nice job by A&M. And now starting to kind of creep back into this one, 30-0. So again, don't want to, in the spirit of Easter, don't want to count your eggs before they hatch. So 30-0 now as Alabama A&M currently holding the lead. And we'll see the right-sided serve here once again. And that one will fall out of bounds,
Wow.
so MTSU gets the job done.
Yep.
And a very nice play that time. They kind of stuck with it and crashed and collapsed inside the net, and very nicely done by the Blue Raiders that time, Izzy.
They were definitely moving their feet fast. They knew exactly where they were moving, and definitely that communication is coming through. We can see today with our games.
And a lot of times when you move closer to the net, you have to be careful to not let the ball kind of fly past you. It takes a lot of concentration, a lot of accuracy, but MTSU excels at that in many respects, and they're showing that right now. And oh my goodness, another just.
That was a really powerful shot from Alabama A&M, coming right down the middle.
Yeah, kind of caught Pavel off guard there. I think he was expecting it to go to the right, kind of shifted his body over towards the right and had nowhere to go whenever it came right down the middle alley. And again, 40-15, so break point coming up for A&M and a chance to extend this game and just kind of stay in it just a little bit. There was some Annie Oakley accuracy on that shot right there. And we'll see if A&M can keep that up. That ball will fall into the net. Second serve to follow. And not going to stop there. MTSU gets the nice hit at the net. So a little bit of a mistake that time by Lawrence and Crespo. And MTSU holds on now 40-30, A&M on top. But again, this is the chance, first game that MTSU has a chance of clinching right now. And they've had the most success so far, but, you know, Izzy, I've noticed a lot of times when you get in that comfortable position, you almost kind of get too comfortable as a player.
I agree. I think, like I said earlier with this team, they definitely have some strong hits, and they know exactly where to do it. So I think you have to kind of stay on your toes with Alabama A&M.
First serve goes into the net, second serve to follow. And again, the Adams Tennis Complex rocking here today. A lot of great fans here, even on a Friday, having some fun. Always a joy to come out here and experience one of these games.
Yes. On court 3, we just won 6-1.
Very nicely done, and this series goes back and forth as well. We'll get more on the court 3 situation in a moment. And what a play by Stein Slump. What an absolute unit that guy was that time as he just slid it right down the alley. Break point coming up here, 40-40 for MTSU. Already has taken court number 3, and we'll get to that one here in just a second. The two super seniors, Stephon Hollis, Chris Edge, get the job done. We saw them early, Izzy, getting it on, and really did a great job there to figure it out at the end.
I agree. I think they knew exactly what they were doing, being both seniors. They had to have had years of conversations together, years of planning, so I think this is a breeze for them.
Great moment there here, and that will do it. Nicely done that time by Stein and Pavel. Took the hat off, didn't care, got the job done, went into his winning mode. And we just saw how they had won 2 of 2 of the break points. We'll make that 3 of 3. Stein Slump puts the hat on backwards once again, and he gets the job done. So MTSU will claim the doubles point here at the Adams Tennis Complex. 1-0 lead for the Blue Raiders. And Izzy, that was a quick and momentous deciding factor.
I feel like we just started talking, so this is unreal how fast these doubles matches went, and I'm really excited to see our single play.
That was Barry Allen speed by MTSU that time. Absolutely just flew into the lead, and that shows you how quickly this Blue Raider team can strike. And now they've got the momentum, now they've got the advantage, so The question's going to be, how are they going to follow that into the singles game?
I'd have to agree with you. I think we got to stay motivated, stay active. Now that they've kind of seen how Alabama A&M plays in their doubles matches, I think they'll take that knowledge into their singles matches, seeing how they can occasionally just have those really strong hits that are exactly where they know they're shooting. So I think you have to be careful and be cautious and be ready for what they have in store.
Yeah, I'm sure MTSU will be. Again, already a 1-0 lead for MTSU here at the Adams Tennis Complex against Alabama A&M. Blue Raiders now going to move into singles action here, and they'll have an opportunity to close that out with 3 singles victories. And like we said before, MTSU has always fared well when they've gotten that doubles point. Usually a doubles point is an indicator that a big win is on the horizon.
I'd have to agree with you.
And now we're going to be going to a break here momentarily. On the other side of that break, we'll have the singles action coming up here from the Cathedral of Tennis itself. Stay tuned here on MTN Sports and CUSA.TV. We'll be back with you shortly.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet apart. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got 2.
I'm going to that game.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
So many men and women that have served that expected to be able to have their tuition or certain assistance being given to them, and that money evaporated. With the establishment of the general fund is to make sure that all those men and women can get through MTSU and pursue what they thought they could do when they came on back.
We're extremely proud that the Predators have identified the need to help make this fund one of the best at our university for our veterans.
It's a cold day outside, but we're nice and warm here in the Adams Tennis Complex. Singles action coming your way here between Middle Tennessee State and Alabama A&M. And Izzy, it's going to be very interesting to see how these singles matches will shake out here.
I'm excited. Coming off the win from the doubles point, I think it's going to be a breeze for the rest of our matches. I think that we could hopefully see some really great stuff from our seniors because it is senior night, senior day.
Yes, it is.
So it's very exciting.
All right, we're going to be sending you to action here shortly. Looks like we'll be starting with court number 2, so we're going to be catching up with Francisco and Mulata to see how things are going over there. And there's the graphic, and here we go. So going to be starting out here with court number 2, and we'll be getting the, as you say, Francisco Rocha, the senior, of course, from Porto, Portugal. Francisco was not in the doubles matchup here earlier on, if you're just joining us. MTSU took the doubles point in fairly convincing fashion. It was very, very quickly done and showed how quickly MTSU wanted to get this ball rolling.
Very fast doubles point, and I'm really proud of our team for pulling through after playing against Alabama this morning, which I knew was a little bit more of a difficult match, but we did come through with a win.
Nicely done by Francisco that time as he kind of spread things out and let the play develop. Love to see that recognition, and of course, not a graduate senior like, Chris Edge and Stepan Hollis, but still a guy who's got a lot of experience and veteranosity on him and showing that in spades right there. And they'll head towards the bench, and looks like that'll already be a 1-0 advantage for Francisco. So very nicely done by him early on, Izzy.
Yeah, definitely starting strong, and hopefully we'll keep that energy throughout the rest of the matching game.
Sure we will. We're going to move over here to the next court, and we'll see how things will be shaking up here. So MTSU already with an advantage with Francisco, and we're going to be joining in with more tennis action here. And we're going to be over at court number 1 with Stein Slump. Stein taking on Nietzsche of Alabama A&M. And we're going to be getting the graphics updated here in just a second so that you can get the full and accurate score here. Stein Slump, of course, senior from Havelet, Netherlands. Another guy with a lot of experience here at MTSU. And nicely done that time.
Wow, hit right into the net. Perfect point for us.
And was very impressed by his backhand as well. And Stein's one of those guys who can play forehand and backhand pretty much both ways and very simultaneously. Love what you see from Stein Slump, a guy who can really do it all. And actually, it looks like that's Stepan Hollis. So Hollis is currently on that court. So a bit of a mistake there, sorry for that. But Stepan currently in action. And that means he's going up against Ramirez, senior from the Czech Republic.
That hit was out.
It looks like it was out. And there you see at the bottom, returning points 1. Nietzsche currently at 0-1. Stepan already up 2-0 in this matchup, so he has not wasted any time putting pedal to the metal here. And it looks like that serve was ruled out of play. So Stepan will get another opportunity. And that was another nicely shot play that time. So 40-40 deuce situation upcoming. Chance to make it a 3-0 game here if you can get this in. And remember, in singles, you play best 2 out of 3, first to 6. So that presents a bit of a different challenge for these players. And that serve will be ruled in play, so another dynamite serve from Stepan Hollis there.
You can definitely see the focus he has as he's ready to take his serves. First one hit the net.
Yeah, that one fell into the net that time. Stepan with another opportunity to redeem himself right here. Has been playing very consistently all day, did a great job with Chris Edge in his doubles matchup.
Alabama A&M definitely making him run across court.
Yeah, you can see that right there, A&M, and that one looks like it might have floated out of bounds. And we'll see what the call is in just a second. I believe that will be the case, so that should leave Nietzsche to be able to potentially get a point here. We'll make sure on the updated scoreboard. Hollis will keep the ball for now, and we'll keep tabs on this one. Hollis with the right-sided serve. And that one will fly out of bounds. So that will be a point for Stepan Hollis, and that should give the point to MTSU. So looks like that will give Hollis a 3-0 lead, so he's wasting no time, picking up right where he left off from his doubles matchup with Chris Edge. So really impressive stuff we're seeing from Stepan Hollis.
Definitely starting in a great direction. Getting those first 3 points, I think, is really important to keep up that momentum and continue throughout the rest of the potential points that we could earn.
Absolutely. And of course, one question you always have to ask yourself with a doubleheader is, will exhaustion play a role? Well, if these singles matchups are anything to go by, MTSU has not shown any bit of that in the slightest. Looks like they're playing at the same high-octane level. Love to see that with the Blue Raiders, and it's going to be interesting to see how the other players are responding. But from what we've seen so far, Izzy, like our chances of taking home this one against Alabama A&M.
I'd have to agree. Like I mentioned earlier, winning this morning, we got our 16th match win, and this could potentially be our 7th. So let's kick it over to court number 5.
Court number 5 with Bernardi and Lawrence currently in play. Mattia with a 1-0 lead here at the moment. And of course, Mattia, a younger guy here for the team, freshman, but still has a lot of great talent and has been one of the people that Coach Jimmy has put a great position on here at MTSU. He's going to be the future of this program when guys like Hollis and Chris Edge leave, and love what he's shown so far, currently the 1-0 lead against Lawrence.
Yeah, he definitely has the foot in the right direction, looking up to those seniors and seeing how well they've been playing, and their communication with Coach Borendane is so specific and so unique. So I think that is shown, and hopefully that will translate over.
And looks like that one will be falling out of bounds, so Mattia makes a bit of a mistake that time and will allow Lawrence to capitalize. Lawrence, another freshman for Alabama A&M as well, so really interesting to see the two young guys hungry for victories, hungry to show something on the court here. Always very fun to watch these matchups.
I'd have to agree with you.
Serve coming up here from Lawrence on the left side, and remember, singles matchups, one line is all you get in terms of leadway. Much harder to put it inbounds and consistently stay inbounds. So second serve coming up here for Lawrence. Of course, the Adams Tennis Complex is rocking right now. People from all over coming to watch this, and a few high school tournaments taking place outside as well here. And looks like that one we'll get the ruling, but looks like from our vantage point it was in, so should give the point to Bernardi for the moment. Bernardi going with that Stein slump style, backwards hat and all, but wears it well and is playing well right now. And do want to give a report on that last point. It was ruled out, but that one was not. Is a nice job by Bernardi that time. Gets that one, and currently we see the updated score, 1-1 now in this matchup. The current thing the scoreboard is showing. So we're going to get more updates here to come for the future, but even so, Mattia playing a very consistent brand of tennis right now.
Tia now serving.
And looks like they're going to rule that one out. And Izzy, always interesting to see how players switch things up between their first and second serves.
I'd have to agree. I think the first one you really see where you're exactly at, and then the second one you can kind of figure it out. Although I think did we get the point for that one? Maybe not. Maybe I'm crazy.
That one was definitely ruled in there. Looks like that one slid out of bounds for Mattia, so that should give Lawrence another point there. You kind of saw what Bernardi was going for, though. Kind of was trying to lift it up right to the white line. Just a little too much on that ball, a little too much sauce. And he'll try to limit the amount of sauce on this one. Falls into the net. Second serve to follow. Forehand to backhand.
Definitely Alabama A&M is hitting those really long shots.
And out of bounds once again. So Lawrence is forcing Bernardi into some mistakes right now. We kind of see what Bernardi's trying to do, trying to get it right on the back line. But like you said, Lawrence is kind of forcing him to go a little bit more outside of his comfort zone. We usually see Bernardi go for those inside short shots. Lawrence forcing him to play the long range game. And it looks like this game's going to be a lot more of a marathon than a sprint.
I'd have to agree. I'm definitely seeing some challenges going on here, but hopefully we'll be able to keep going. And kind of once you start playing, I think, with a different player, you can kind of figure out what are they doing, how are they hitting the ball, and how is that affecting me. So I think once he realizes that, he'll kind of understand his own tactics.
And it looks like that one, a bit of a mistake by Lawrence that time, as it's going to fall out of bounds, and that should help Bernardi to another point. And I believe it will, as they look like they're about to head towards the bench / swap sides. So Mattia gets a little bit of a break that time, as they'll both take a moment to collect themselves. And we're going to head back up here to the booth. So very interesting matchup here, kind of a different style between Mattia and Lawrence, kind of more of a back and forth long range style. Really interesting to see.
I'd have to agree. It's a little bit more of a challenge for him to kind of keep going and push through this one. So I think compared to our other players, he's really going to have to tune in and zone in and stay focused for the rest of the game.
Well, it's definitely a lot more of a styles clash when you come here to MTSU in terms of the different styles you see. Short range, long range, and everything in between. And we're going to get more of that here as John Chin currently takes on Ramos from Alabama A&M. Chin currently scored with a 3-0 lead, so John Chin wasting no time. We saw how impressive he was in his doubles matchup.
Yes, John Chin is such a dedicated member to our team. I think he works extremely hard during practices, and I'm really proud of him. So being a freshman, it must be really hard, and to pull through with a 3-0 lead is really impressive.
Well said. Another freshman, like you said, from Jamaica. Very unique, a great player in terms of how he's able to attack on the court. Very smart guy as well, does a great job of playing the game of tennis and understanding where he needs to be at a given time. And he, like you said, he's a guy who's improved so much over this tennis season. Really impressed with how he's grown as a player, and he's growing into one of the most important facets of this team.
I'd have to agree with you.
And a bit of a mistake that time. Looked like he was just looking for the underhook over the net, but just could not get that one to fall. So a bit of a rare mistake by John Chin, and that one will fall out of play, but chance to redeem himself here to follow.
No worries at all.
And that's the important thing as a player. You want to make sure you put those tough moments behind you and are able to get back up once again.
Yeah, you have to be able to push through and realize you made a mistake so you can move on and learn from it.
Ramos currently serving from just outside the box. And that one falls into the net, so a bit of a mistake that time, and we'll see where Ramos' strategy will head here next as John Chin awaits the next serve. Bit of a calm in the action right now. And Ramos will, looks like, head back towards the left side, so second serve coming up. Took his time here, probably trying to figure out what exactly he wants to do with this serve. This one will be in.
Wow, definitely both players hitting cross court, definitely making each other run.
A lot of cross court shots right here, like you said. And play stops, so it looks like,
wow.
I believe that would be resulting in a Ramos out of bounds. So it looks like John Chin saw something there, and that should result in a point for John Chin. Nicely done that time, and gets the better of Ramos, at least for the moment. So John Chin, another player having some success here in this one. And left side serve coming up here for Ramos. And that one will be out of bounds.
That one was out of balance, definitely in the doubles alley, which we were talking about earlier. So that difference between playing doubles and singles, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it definitely is, and you have to kind of zone in to where our singles court is.
And that will definitively get John Chin that point. Should lead to a 4-0 lead, at least for the moment. So, like you said, Izzy, we talked about the difference between singles and doubles. You have to play so much more concisely with that singles play, and we saw how it affected Alabama A&M that time.
I'd have to agree with you.
And we're going to head back over for more tennis action here. And going to be heading up to see what Pavel Moldl is up to up against Gallat right now with a 3-0 lead. And remember, MTSU needs 3 of the 6 singles games to clinch victory in this one against Alabama A&M. Currently having a lot of success in that department. 3-0 lead here for Pavel Moldl, the senior from the Czech Republic. And Pavel currently awaiting Gallat's serve. In a similar situation to John Chin. That one will be let. And this is a bit of a unique situation. We don't see this very often. It results in 2 subsequent serves for the opposing player if it hits off the net quite like that.
Having Pavel be such a seasoned player as a senior, I think you're really able to see that, just like with that shot, I mean, it's unreal how fast he was able to move, and he was so low, and he knew exactly how he could get that over the net.
Yes, indeed. What a nice shot that was that time by Pavel Moldl, able to just slice and dice his way inside. Loved what I saw there. Kind of went for, like you said, that low shot that really almost 95% of players would not be able to do, but Pavel Moldl found his way, and that's something you really just can't teach, something that is learned and acquired through years and years of experience. And we know how devoted Pavel is to becoming the best player that he can possibly be, and displaying that here in this court right now. And, oh, a bit of a mistake. Tried for the spike play that time and maybe put the cart before the horse, so to speak, and kind of went into the net that time. So Pavel will retool and hit it from the left side. You can see how far Gallat is also playing back on these serves. And looks like they're going to rule that one out. So
yes, a little long.
Little too much sauce for Pavel that time. And he'll get another opportunity here. And looks like that one will fall out, so Gallat could not collect it, and Pavel Moldl will get another point here. Nicely done that time. Great volley back and forth that time, Izzy.
I'd have to agree. That was a really great volley. You can see the drive that Pavel has as he's hitting each shot.
Absolutely, and you kind of see how evenly matched the two were on that volley. Although Pavel's gotten the better of Gallat, that's really come down to how well he's able to endure these long serves and these long rallies. And a lot of that comes down to conditioning. It's all those nights that you spend running, and it's a big component to tennis. You have to have that endurance and have that ability to keep up that same energy level you had when you started it.
I'd have to agree with you. You can definitely see how Alabama A&M, our player, is trying to scoot back because he's realizing the way that Pavel moves, and I think that's really valuable as he tries to do that. But there's definitely some shots that Pavel has that he just takes the upper hand and knows what he's doing.
And in the game of tennis, you have to adapt quickly, or your opponent can really eat you alive if you're not careful. And that's a lot of times what the great players do, is they're able to adapt in a moment's notice and find that little bit of a missing link that they didn't have before. It's going to be interesting to see how Gallat will adapt more to Pavel's style. Looks like that one will be just in.
Wow, the way Pavel just hit that shot just looked like it glided through the air.
And nicely done that time.
Definitely a strike. Knew exactly where he was going.
You want to talk about tenacity? That was Stone Cold Steve Austin levels of tenacity right there. So he was able to just pluck that one out of the air that time, slam it to the ground. Gotta love what you saw from Pavel Moldl right there. And that was a play that really could have been blown up under any other circumstance, but Pavel was able to do a great job of sticking with it and finding its way. Going to be moving here to court number 4 here shortly as we witness another Pavel Moldl smackdown right onto the court. So Pavel Moldl is really starting to take control here in his side of the court.
He really is starting to have full force and figure out what's going on and how is he playing on the court. And I think he's having those really strong shots to just know, bam, this will get me the point.
Yeah, those shots are rocking Murfreesboro right now, as is this matchup between John Chin and Ramos. Chin currently up 5-0. Opportunity here to take MTSU's first of the single sets and trying to move into his second set overall in the singles matchup. Chin's going to rule that one out of bounds. It's a bit different than in high school. Usually you raise a finger here in the college level to indicate that. And oh man, nice misdirection from John Chin. Loved what I saw there, Izzy.
I'd have to agree. That was a really great shot.
And you saw the recognition that Chin had to kind of go cross court. Look to where Ramos could not hit it back under any circumstance. John Chin, the kind of player that can really pull that sort of play off. Hard to do, but some players have that natural athletic ability. And Chin will collect himself, and it'll be a left side serve this time for Ramos. Another game currently at 5-0 as well is matchup between Stepan Hollis. As a bit of an update here. So MTSU on the verge of taking 2 of these early sets. And nicely done once again. John Chin, he deserves that fist pump because again, he's just going misdirection side of the court.
Definitely, he knows exactly which side he has to move to and where. And you have to have a lot of momentum and speed to know where you're going.
Yes, and body control as well. You got to make sure, and looks like that will give him that opening set. So John Chin lays claim to the first single set victory for MTSU, but he'll have to claim another one for MTSU to get a point here in these single sets. But like what I'm seeing so far, as we'll head over for more tennis action here. Oscar Brostrom Poulsen currently up 5-0 as well. So success across the board right now, Izzy.
Lots of success.
MTSU certainly bringing in the winnings right now. And remember, for these guys, this is their last home matchup of the year. So there's a lot on the line for them. They're trying to prove something here to this Adams Tennis Complex fan base before they head out. A lot to prove here as a team.
I agree with you.
A&M, of course, trying to get back on the right track here. But that will not be the right track that time. It heads straight into the net, and that will give Oscar Brostrom Poulsen another point to his cause. And we'll see Mulata take it back into headquarters and try another serve from the right side.
I feel like Brostrom Poulsen, he kind of just knows what's happening. Like he really isn't putting in like the greatest effort because he knows exactly where he's hitting and he knows what he has to do to get this job done. So he's working his way through to finish his first set.
That's a sign of a scary good player. When they're so good, they know exactly what's going to happen before the other player does. And that's a great job by him as he'll wait that one out. And looks like we'll see another serve coming up here from Mulata. Again, Oscar with a chance to get his singles victory here as well, at least for the first set.
Definitely making him run a bit.
And that one just glides off the net. Beautiful backhands as well.
You can see that he's staying back, so he knows that these shots are all going to be pretty long. Wow.
Yeah, Mulata with just enough on that one.
Just barely.
To keep Oscar from getting it. But you saw, even in defeat, you saw what he was going for that time, trying for the little slice shot just over the net.
Very, very close.
Very close indeed. Meanwhile, looking back over our shoulder here at the other scores, MTSU up 5-2, 3-2, 3-2 in several other matchups here. Current updates there. And going to move over back to court 1 here momentarily. But again, MTSU with the lead in several matchups, but A&M sticking around in a lot of respects.
I agree. They're definitely challenging a few of our players and keeping them on their toes.
And yes, it was ruled out of bounds by Oscar Brostrom Poulsen, so he saw what we saw as well. Just hit the green spot there, and Oscar will get another point and come ever closer to clinching that all-important 6th point here in his first set. And we'll see a left-sided and left-handed serve from Mulata here. Much like Chris Edge in that respect. And that will be too far outside the box. See Oscar kind of scoots up a little bit more for the second serve. Obviously saw something that he likes.
Yes, each serve is kind of different, so you have to be careful and see, okay, maybe this one was a little shorter. Oh, maybe they're going for something a little longer. And you kind of have to adjust the way that you're standing in coordination to where they're serving.
Looks like that one went too far out of reach that time, and Mulata will suffer another defeat here to Brostrom Poulsen, who will head over towards the left side. Point is still not decided, however. They're still waiting the ultimate outcome, but Broster and Polson should be closing in here momentarily. And we'll see a left-sided serve from Mulata. Serves up and away. And, oh, bounced off the net. And that bounce off the net, I think, was all it took to kind of put out Broster and Polson a little bit off of his game. He wasn't probably expecting that sort of shot, and I think kind of messed up his positioning.
I agree. I don't think he was looking to see that that's going to happen. So I think he had to readjust himself and realize, oh, I have to stay on my toes to see what happens next.
Absolutely. It's amazing how the most minute details can really affect a tennis player's focus. I know as a player when I was playing, I wanted complete silence. I wanted to make sure nobody was interfering in what I was doing because when you're in that deep of a focus, you have to play really just with no outside distractions.
Yeah, I think that something like tennis is very individual, even when you're playing doubles, especially, but I mean, for singles, you really have to be in your own zone and know, okay, this is just me, this is me here, and I have to stay focused because it's only me staying focused. So I think you have to see that and have that come into play.
And nice volley and a nice victory for Broster and Polson right there as he's able to get another point that time up against Mulata. And you saw how they were going back and forth that time, and that should lead. And yes, Broster and Polson will take his first single set of the evening. Nicely done against Mulata, and he does it in spectacular fashion as well with the big singles points. So MTSU already with a couple singles victories, setting themselves up very nicely here to get the points.
Yeah. MTSU is really pulling through with these starting victories, having already that doubles point, kind of maybe boost their confidence a little bit to prepare them for these singles matches. And now starting to win a few of these singles matches for the first set, I think is a really great start. So we just have to finish out the second set and we'll knock it out.
Going to go to court 6 here momentarily, and we will be joining you with that here in just a second. And there it is. And Olivier up against Crespo. And update with you for you here. Court number 1, Stein Slump takes it 6-2. So MTSU clinches yet another singles point, and that's now 3 here with at least one singles victory. And if that holds up busy, MTSU will take the victory here in this one against A&M. That one will fall out of bounds. Just in the first set, yes. So just in the first set with that one, wanted to clarify. MTSU's not clinched any other points, but they have clinched 3 first sets here in these singles matchups. And nice serve that time from Olivier. And nice volley back and forth here.
Definitely hitting some longer shots.
Very similar to Mattia's match earlier, and that will be out of bounds. Nicely done by Olivier that time, making sure to not hit that ball. It takes a lot of self-control and a lot of mental focus, Izzy.
Yeah, I think especially seeing it when it's right in front of you, you're like, okay, the line's here, green's here, blue's here. You have to make sure that you know exactly where it's hitting so that you can call that out.
Olivier, the freshman from Marseille, France, and has done a great job. Another freshman young guy who has made an impact here early for MTSU. Got to say, when you see guys like John Chin, Mattia, Olivier, you know that the future of MTSU tennis, we talk so much about the past, but the future is in good hands as well. And he made Crespo stand still that time. Crespo looked like he was stuck in a refrigerator as he just couldn't go anywhere. And Olivier gets the point there, and that should make it at least 4 or 5-2. We'll make sure to get that here in just a second, but nicely done that time. And I love the way he delivered that with authority, knew exactly where he wanted to put the ball, didn't hesitate, and that's how a tennis player has success.
I agree. I think he was really dedicated and he knows where he's hitting his shots, and I think that's really going to come into play as he finishes out these 2 sets.
Huge confidence booster for any tennis player. We're going to get more tennis action to you here in just a moment here at the Adams Tennis Complex. MTSU currently on track to get 4 or 5 points, and we'll see how all of that develops here in just a second. Going to head to court number 1. Currently Stepan Hollis and Nietzsche. And looks like Nietzsche got that point that time. Hollis did take the first set 6-2 here on Senior Friday. Hollis already with the 6-2 first set in singles and took the doubles victory with fellow super senior Chris Edge. So it's already been a very eventful day. And on top of that, he's also won against Memphis. So it's been a busy day for MTSU men's tennis, especially these super seniors. But I'm sure a day they're not going to forget.
I agree. I think today was a really great day, especially having our senior ceremony. I think that really set up the tone for today. Having to win for your seniors, I think that's really valuable, and showing them how much you are dedicated to the program and dedicated and thankful for the seniors.
And that one will be just too much for Nietzsche that time. Laid out with everything he had. And you see Nietzsche kind of going to the floor that time. And almost looks like he's cramping up a little bit. Looks like he will get up. Good to see.
Yeah.
But kind of saw he was clutching at his knee that time. But you saw how he laid out that time, trying to stop Stephon Hollis' shot from getting inside. But loved what I saw there. A lot of great back and forth.
I'd have to agree. I think Hollis really hit a strong, powerful shot that Nietzsche just could not make, even if he put his whole effort in. So I think that shows the dedication that he has.
Two great artists in the levels of Van Gogh and Da Vinci going back and forth that time. Loved what I saw, and I'm sure we're going to get more of that. Very intriguing matchup here. Again, we just see that back and forth taking place. And looks like that will be ruled out by Stephon Hollis, which should lead to a 40-40 break point situation. Deuce coming up for these two players, and I've already seen that a couple times between Hollis and Nietzsche. Shows how evenly matched they are as players, even with the 6-2 situation for Stephon Hollis. These players, very evenly matched, have come very close on several matchups. It's really been down to a matter of who's been at the right place at the right time, and more often than not, that's been Stephon Hollis in this one. Shows he's always kind of got that winning mentality, as does a lot of players out here on MTSU. That one will be ruled out of bounds. Second serve coming up here for Hollis. And that will be a point for Stephon Hollis. So that should lead to a 1-0 advantage, and he should lead to a break point, and will for Stephon Hollis. So gets the early advantage in that one. Had to come back a little bit from a deficit there, so showing that he can win from in front or behind. Really interesting stuff there from Stephon Hollis.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I think Stephon Hollis really is kicking it into gear and realizing what he has to do to win this match. And you can tell that the Alabama and A&M players starting to even get a little frustrated with how much effort he's having to put in to play against Hollis. So I think he's just trying his best, and we will see how it plays out.
And we're going to be heading over to court number 5 to check up on that action. Bernardi and Lawrence going at it right now. This is one of the matchups still within the first set. Mattia Bernardi, the freshman from Trento, Italy. And now currently up in a 4-3 matchup. And actually the only match remaining in the first set right now. So really probably the most evenly of the singles matches right now with these two players. And we've been seeing it. They've been going back and forth all day here, Izzy. Very, very evenly matched players and have been showing it.
I agree with you. They've been having to put in a lot of work, a lot of effort. Having the score be this way, I think, shows that they're going to have to keep pushing through.
Well said as the serve comes from the right side, and looks like that one will be let. So 2 more potential serves, if need be, coming for Lawrence. Bernardi from the white line. And nicely done. Put it right at the feet of Lawrence that time. I loved what he did, and I got to say, when you get it hit in that position, it's one of the most uncomfortable positions for a tennis player, Izzy. Almost impossible to hit it back.
Very difficult shot to make.
And looks like that will lead us to a quick break in the action, as Lawrence will use the towel, and Bernardi will await the next serve coming from the left side of the court. A lot of players sometimes have a favored side, so to speak, where they serve better from. Interesting to see how that will play into it. Lawrence almost seems to serve a little bit better from that right side. Has had issues sometimes getting the ball quite over the net the way he wants to here from the left side. We'll see how that plays in here in just a second. And there you kind of saw evidence of that as Bernardi was able to swat it back, and Lawrence kind of didn't have quite enough power there from his right side, and Bernardi took advantage, and that's kind of an exploitation of the position of the body that time, Izzy.
I'd have to agree with you.
Body control so crucial in the game of tennis as well. Positioning, where you put the power into your shot really determines how you're able to play, and we see Bernardi doing an expert job of holding that back that time. That one will fall into the net as well. And Bernardi will get a second serve here.
I think a big thing about tennis is having perspective of where the ball is versus you, where the net is versus you. I think it's really difficult. When I played tennis in high school, again, I would always hit the ball, but it was just a little too far away from my net. And I think that's really important and valuable to understand where you are in correlation to everything else.
Well said. You got to make sure you know where you are on the court as well. Like you said, to make sure you hit the ball where you want it to go. And some high bouncing shots right here. A lot of elevation, and that one may have been a little too far, and it was. Nicely done by Lawrence that time. Recognized that Bernardi's shot was kind of hinting towards the out of bounds marker, and that's exactly what ended up happening. So Bernardi will take the tennis balls back, and that should lead us to a potential tie in this one. And looks like it will. 4-4 between these two. So very interesting development here in this one. And we'll see how it plays up down the stretch here. Still the only match in the first set. Oh my goodness, Bernardi wasted no time getting right to the point of attack. And much like the ultimate opportunist edge, taking advantage. And you saw how he went cross court that time, Izzy. Very nicely done.
I'd have to agree with you.
And something cool to note as well, a lot of these younger high school players now joining us in the Adams Tennis Complex. And got to say, for those who are curious, I bet you can learn a lot of things from what you're seeing on the court right now if you're a high school player.
I'd have to agree. I think that these players are a little be able to see how our MTSU players are doing and look at the way they're acting and try to recommand that.
Yes, indeed. Quick shot here. And oh my goodness, another spin cycle for Mattia Bernardi. Absolutely looked like it was on a teacup at the amusement park, but a very nice job by Bernardi, and he's going to extend his lead potentially to 30-0 here, and looks like he will. So Mattia Bernardi kind of struggled in the last matchup, Izzy, but he has found form here in just this last moment.
He's definitely been pulling through at the end, and I think he's going to be able to hopefully come out with a win.
And Bernardi will serve again from the left side. That one will fly off of the net. Second serve to follow. This one will be in. And that one goes into the net, but that's kind of an evidence as to how Bernardi has switched his strategy up in this last game. You see him going for those lower shots instead of those high bouncers, so to speak. Bernardi really kind of establishing the ground ball sort of game here.
I agree with you. I think he's really establishing what he's working on.
Interesting to see how the players have adapted. And nicely done from the left side that time goes Mattia Bernardi. It seems like when he can switch position with his backhand, he is a dangerous force, and that's going to lead him to a 5-4 lead and a chance to claim his first set and join his fellow competitors from MTSU. So Mattia Bernardi also experiencing some success here, is he?
I agree. I think he's really pulling through. Being an MTSU player, I think you have to be really dedicated and work really hard for this team. So I think you can definitely see that throughout today's games. Great
game, so great that you could almost dance as you watch these games take place. So shows how much fun the fans are having along with us here in the broadcast booth. And now we're going to go back over to court number 1 here. Stepan Hollis has already taken his first set and up 3-0 in his second set right now. And we'll see an update here from that score. Looks like from the scoreboard actually might be stuck there on the 30-40, so we want to give credence to that. But Hollis will take it towards the sideline. That should potentially lead him to a 5-0 lead, if I'm not mistaken. 4-0 actually, at least for the moment. So nicely done as we'll head back up to the commentary booth. So he didn't even give us a chance. He was so quick that he had already taken care of business. But Stepan Hollis, again, continues to put his pedal to the metal, and he is putting MTSU in a very quick position to get a point here.
Yeah, I think you can see throughout all of our players that, we're really just getting through this match. We are working our way through, and we're trying our best. So I think it will hopefully end out with the win, having that first doubles point, and now a lot of our winning our first set, and now moving on to the second.
We now join back in with Pavel Model, senior from the Czech Republic, up 1-0 in his second set. Took the first set 6-2 against Galat, and trying to continue his winning ways here. Backhand, oh, just skimmed over the net, and that was enough for Pavel Model to take advantage. You saw Izzy how it was just able to kind of find its way over the net, and Galat was left in a position where there really wasn't much he could do.
I agree with you.
So we're going to see Pavel take it from the right side this time. Number of the MTSU players wearing the black shirts here today. Way to differentiate themselves from what they usually see, and good looking uniforms for them here as well. Serve right here.
Definitely seeing some high shots.
High shots
Wow.
and corner shots. Nicely done once again. Like he was playing a game of pool, went it right for the corner, and Pavel Model takes advantage. And little smile to the camera there, knows exactly what he's accomplishing here at the moment, and why not have a little smile on your face as you're playing the game of tennis?
Yes, show the audience that you know what you came here to do.
And Pavel will take a moment to recollect the other tennis ball that had flown out of bounds. Serve from the left side. So far, all smiles for MTSU in this game against A&M. Cross court. And tried to get the ball just over the net once again, but Galat was really tenacious in how he was able to hit the ball just inside the left side of the court that time and left Pavel with not many options.
Yeah, that was a really tight shot. He was right by the net. Definitely really difficult to pop that up, so I think he just struggled a little bit, but I'm not too worried. I'm sure he can pull it back around.
If there's anybody who can take care of business and find his way back into a matchup, it is Pavel Model. Score shown at 2-0 in the latest update here from the scoreboard, so Pavel needs 4 more wins to clinch MTSU's second potential point if one of his competitors don't get beat him there first. Oh my goodness.
Wow, that was a really great shot.
What an incredible shot. The backhanded no-look spin cycle. I don't think that's a bit of a complicated name for the move, but that's the best way I can describe what we just saw.
I'd have to agree. It's a great name.
I got probably the first time I've ever seen anything quite like that here at the Adams Tennis Complex, as that one will fly out of the back of the green markers. And Pavel will get another opportunity here. But really, really incredible stuff from Pavel that time, and was able to find his way just in the perfect position. That's awareness of where the ball is at the court. Really impressive job. And oh, again, just putting it in the perfect positioning where Galat could do nothing about it. Almost seems like Pavel has figured out where Galat's going to be ahead of time.
He definitely has a plan ahead of him.
And it looks like that will send that game to 3-0. So Pavel now needs just 3 more victories, and he'll have MTSU's second singles point. We'll get you more updates here on some other matchups across the single spectrum, but MTSU having a lot of success and drawing ever closer to that potential victory, Izzy.
I'd have to agree. I think with every little point, things are moving in the right direction. Obviously, we have our moments, but we are going to move over to court 2 and continue this tennis action.
Back over to court number 2 with Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen and Mulata. Brostrom-Poulsen has not lost a matchup since starting his singles showdown, which is really, honestly, it's incredible to think about just how dominant Oscar has been so far.
Yeah, being a freshman I think is so difficult, and being able to pull through like this, you definitely have a lot of pressure on your back, and getting all of these points, you must really be dedicated and working hard.
Up against Mulata right now. And that ball looks like, I believe it fell out of bounds potentially. We'll get more updates on that in a second, but a little background information on Mulata. Brostrom-Poulsen is currently playing a senior right now. So that shows just how good Brostrom-Poulsen is, like you said, to compete as a freshman up against an experienced guy like Mulata. That shows just how good he is at such an early age. But Oscar, he's the kind of guy who plays he doesn't even feel like a freshman. He feels like a guy who could be a junior and senior, and especially his height. He's a taller guy, and I gotta say, height really helps you, especially, we see it in professional tennis as well, helps you especially as in college tennis.
I'd have to agree. He can help you move really fast across the court and move far distances in a quick period of time.
Oscar will recollect himself here and will serve from the left side. Again, has yet to give up a point here in this singles matchup. Oscar waiting on one of the balls that flew out on the other court. And gets the nice toss from person on the sideline there. Great job as always by them. And quick serve. And looks like Oscar thought it was in, but looks like the Mulata ruled it was outside of the box, so no soup for Oscar that time. And he'll have to try again here, but Oscar's got one of the deadliest serves in the game right now. Shows it right there.
That one hit into the net.
Yeah, still no soup for Oscar as it goes into the net that time, and he's going to have to try again from the right side. And yeah, he kind of knew, you saw him tapping his head, knew that one was on him. And as a tennis player, like we've said before, you kind of just have to put that one behind you and kind of make up that difference that you currently face. And that's what Oscar Bostrom-Poulsen's going to look to do here.
I agree.
Right side serving. And we'll see that one. Looks like it fell out of bounds. Await the official ruling. Want to get you some quick updates while we have a lull in the action. MTSU currently has a 3-2 advantage on court 4, 3-0 on court 2, 1-0 on court 6, 3-0 on court 1, and 3-0 on court 3. So that's your total across the board scoring for MTSU at the moment. Of course, covering the matchup for Oscar Bostrom-Poulsen right now with a 3-0 advantage. MTSU, again, just needs 3 singles points to clinch out the victory against Alabama A&M, which would move them into an incredible 23-3 on the season, Izzy. And you know, you want to talk about the national spectrum, ranked number 18 right now, after incredible victories against number 37 Memphis and potentially winning against Alabama A&M today. You got to imagine this is going to only help them get higher and higher into those ITA rankings.
I agree. I think this is really pushing us to move forward, and having that we've won the last 16 matches, like I mentioned, I think this could be another great addition.
Well, in the Born-Dame era, I think it's fair to say that MTSU maybe has never quite reached the heights they are currently facing and have a chance to make more history in the Born-Dame era here. Quick serve. And a bit of an odd hit-back situation for Oscar. Almost looked like he thought that was going to be in, and then it looks like he fell out. So, yeah, so it looks like Oscar's going to rule that one out outside. Looks like he was going for a quick side shot, and it did not go, so that should give Oscar a point there. So Oscar kind of knew ahead of time that he was looking for something special, but decided to go back in front of it. And again, like we said, that's a lot to do with self-control and knowing what you have to do with the ball at a given time.
Yeah, I think you have to have a lot of self-control and know exactly what your body is doing.
Absolutely. We're going to be heading back over to the next court here. Going to be joining in with John Shin in a dogfight here in his second set, 3-3 game up against Ramos. Shin was absolutely dominant in the first set, took a 6-0 advantage, but the freshman from Jamaica currently in a tough position here. And I think it shows the tenacity and the resilience of Alabama A&M, not going to go away without a fight.
Yeah, he's definitely starting to pick it up, so John Shin is going to have to reel it in for these last few points. I mean, winning the first set is really valuable, but now having this second set being a little challenging, you have to make sure you're staying focused and staying aware of where you're hitting your ball.
Well said, and John Shin, of course, one of those players who can adapt at a moment's notice to whatever's taking place on the court. Shin currently on the far side here on your screen, playing up towards the back. Ramos is the closest for A&M. Shin with the high arcing serve. Nice backhand there.
Some great rallying.
Indeed, great rallying here, and looks like that one was in from our vantage point. We'll wait and see. Shin kind of
Might have been out.
Looked like it was out, so Ramos thought it was in, but Chin thought otherwise. So instead, that will be an out-of-bounds play for Ramos, and Chin will get the advantage. But you saw Ramos was very quick to try and get that one with the slice shot, but that's a bit of a risky proposition, Izzy. You have to be careful with those ones that have spin on it. It could very easily slant the wrong way if you're not careful.
I agree.
We're going to go over to court number 6 for our next bit of singles action here. Going to be joining in with Olivier and Crespo. Olivier and Crespo currently in their matchup. Olivier took the first set 6-2, 3-0 here on the second, so has been even better as time has went on. Had a little bit of a closer matchup with Crespo earlier, but since the last few matchups has been really able to find his way and find his form here. Hit into the box. Scoop shot, and that is a dominant hit by Olivier, spiking it into the ground, and then it went all the way up to the stars as Olivier was able to just spike that one in the perfect position. And Izzy, Crespo was already in a bad spot as soon as that ball kind of barely just slightly went over the net. And as a player, that's a position that you salivate to be in because you know you can just hit that with all the power in the world.
I agree. I think you have to be focused and see that you got to know how to hit the ball.
Looks like that one went out of bounds for Crespo that time, so that'll give Olivier yet another point. Just 3 more victories needed, and he will clinch his single set. High-arcing serve. And again, another quick serve that time right across the center line. Beautiful from Olivier, loving his form right now. A guy with incredible accuracy, and that would have been a 10 out of 10 in America's Got Talent. And looks like that one will fall back over to the left side. Quick serve here. And again, that one looks like it fell out of bounds for Crespo. Olivier is really putting Crespo on his heels right now, Izzy, in the way he's pressuring him towards the back line.
He's definitely pushing him back, so he's going to have to stay back and really think things through.
Crespo will definitely have to adapt his form and be able to compensate for what Olivier's been able to accomplish here. And, oh, another misdirection. Looks like Crespo was expecting it to go to the left, and again, Olivier, one step ahead, found his way right past, and that should allow him to get yet another point. So Olivier really on fire right now. He is reaching 500 degrees in a hurry, and I love what I'm seeing from him.
I agree. He's really staying focused and staying in the zone, and hopefully he's going to finish out our match.
Absolutely. MTSU, again, on the verge of getting that second singles point from a variety of different places, and we'll be joining you with one of those matches here in just a second. And it's going to be Stepan Hollis taking on Nietzsche. 4-1 matchup right now. Hollis currently with the advantage. Do want to warn you guys not to ignore the 30-40 thing on the side. That has currently been a bit of a malfunction in the junction, and we'll see if that one can get fixed here in just a second. But Hollis currently with the 4-1 overall advantage, and we'll be keeping tabs to see how much that changes in this next little bit. And that one will fall out of play. And we'll see Hollis collect that ball back. And Hollis will head towards the right side now. And how much of a nice icing on the cake would it be if he could get this final singles victory on this day? And you can see just how far back he's standing for this one, is he?
Yeah, again, having Hollis being the senior, this is a really nice match for him and a really nice game.
And ooh, looks like that one, he was just trying to squeak over the net and not enough power that time, or at least not enough velocity to push it over that net. And again, you see kind of Hollis bouncing the racket off of his head. Usually that's an indicator. If a tennis player does that, that usually means they have made a mistake. And Hollis knew that one was a bit of an unfortunate circumstance, but he'll get another opportunity here. And Hollis is again one of those guys who puts his setbacks behind him very quickly. And well, what a serve that was that time. Hollis was ready for it, and he was able to respond in kind.
Very strong, very short hit. I think with those right over the net, right near your body, it's hard to figure out where your arm is compared to the ball. So I think that was very difficult for Alabama A&M to pull through there.
Yeah, we saw how fast Nietzsche served that was that time, and Hollis almost didn't expect it, but he hit it back in just the perfect position to where Nietzsche was thrown out of his position, and it led Hollis to put it in the perfect spot to allow MTSU to get that point. Ooh, a little too much. Looked for the center line and could not grasp it, so that will result in Nietzsche getting that point for the time being, and he will retrieve that tennis ball from the back. Great back and forth action here between these two. And left-sided serve coming up from Nietzsche. We talked about that earlier. Hollis does not seem intimidated by it or has not been thrown off of his game by it, though, in the least. And you got to imagine that that time he spends playing with Chris Edge has also helped with that. And again, looking for
that was a little out.
Yeah, you can tell he's looking for the corner shot there, Izzy, but he just is a little too much in terms of the power on these shots right now.
Yeah, he was a hair too long. He has to stay focused, stay in the zone, and realize perspective of where those lines are.
Sometimes as a player, you almost try to do too much with a play, I know sometimes, and it ends up resulting in it not going where you want it to go. So as a player, you have to be careful to make sure you just take a moment to, like I said, collect your breath and know what you want to do with it next. Great response on the serve there. Great back and forth between these two, and again, just outside the corner. So Hollis again messes up 3 straight shots that go just outside the right and left corner side, and a little bit uncharacteristic from Hollis. Looks like he's trying to go the right way, but it's only resulted in him going out of bounds. So that should lead to a second Nietzsche point. So a bit of a tough break for Hollis there. Still an opportunity to clinch this one in 2 games, but tough circumstances and something he'll have to adapt to here in this next game. Overall in this series, Hollis holds the 10-4, if the scoreboard will be accurate here in a second, advantage overall in singles matchups in this one. And that one looks like it went out of bounds, so that should give Hollis the point, and he will now have a 15-0 lead. And looking back over currently on the other courts, MTSU closing in on clinching a set over on court 6, up 5-0. 4-1 on court 2, 4-3 on court 4, 3-0 on court 3, and 4-1 on court 4, and currently on the second set just beginning on court 5. So we will be getting more updates on those scores shortly. We're going to be heading over to court 6 in here in just a second to see if MTSU can clinch that second set, but MTSU on the cusp, and we've been kind of waiting to see how it's been going as he has taken a little bit longer, and you got to think maybe that exhaustion playing a little bit of a role, but MTSU closing in, and I think once the first of the singles points comes into play, really maybe they'll all start to fall like dominoes.
I agree. I think once we get that first one, it's going to be boom, boom, boom to finish out our match.
Absolutely, and MTSU a lot of times feeds on that advantage that they see from the other players and are able to play well because they see their teammates having success, and I'm sure that will be something we'll see here in just a second. Going to be heading to court number 6 here in just a moment. And actually court 2, excuse me, is what we're going to be heading to, and that's where we'll head right now. Currently on court 2 with Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen and Mulata in the middle of their matchup. Oscar still with a 4-1 advantage, 2 away from clinching the point for MTSU. And you got to imagine he would like to be the first to get that singles point here. And looks like that one was in. We'll see what Mulata rules. And it looks like it was. What a serve that time by Brostrom-Poulsen. And when it's that fast now, it actually will be ruled that was out of bounds, and looks like update has just come in. So MTSU has taken a set and is now up 2-0 overall. Looks like we're going to get confirmation on this, but it looks like it was on court number 6. So MTSU will take a 2-0 lead, 6-1 in that second set. Very nicely done. Actually 6-0 in that second set. So really dominant performance over there, and that'll give MTSU the advantage. And I believe that was John Chin. So John Chin takes the victory and makes it 2-0. Nicely done, and a well-earned victory as well. As we see Brostrom-Poulsen and Mulata heading towards the sideline for a quick break. And we'll get an updated score there. So MTSU's finally made it 2-0. Izzy, took them a little bit longer, but now the opportunities is here for MTSU to strike. Just need 2 more singles points to clinch victory against A&M.
I think we're just going to have to watch how this plays out. I think we're definitely on the right track, so we're just going to have to smooth sail from here, make sure we all stay tuned and stay ready and stay on edge because we want to make sure that we can finish this out strong.
Absolutely. Don't touch that dial one bit. MTSU is currently on a roll. And speaking of people on a roll, Pavel Moldl up 3-0 in his matchup against Gullet.
Halfway there.
Halfway there, indeed. MTSU could potentially play out some sets depending on circumstances. We'll see how that will go. And we'll be heading towards court 1 here momentarily to catch up with that one. That one on the cusp of also being clinched for MTSU. And well, actually, the score is just updated, so MTSU now with a 3-0 lead. So, again, the Blue Raiders continue to put pedal to metal. When we talked about how once one was scored, the domino would continue to fall, well, it's been like a Rube Goldberg machine. One thing after another, MTSU is clinching a lot of victories here. And we're going to join up with Stepan Hollis.
He is right on the edge.
Right on the edge right now. And we'll get confirmation over, but scoreboard does say 3-0 at the moment here at the Adams Tennis Complex, although it does not say that on play site. We'll make sure of that here in just a second. But Hollis with a chance to potentially at least get another point for MTSU, if nothing else. Hollis, again, that super senior. He's been so impressive all day. Break point has been reached here. And that means it should mean if Hollis can take this, he will get MTSU to a potential of a victory. And he gets the nice shot to the inside. And we await the official ruling here. And they will continue to play on, so that was not the deciding point. But again, Hollis continues to draw ever closer in this one. MTSU, again, just needs one more victory, and this could very well be the one if everything goes according to plan here. That one falls out of bounds, and Hollis will send it right back over to Nietzsche, who, again, kind of mad at himself for another mistake. And it's been those sorts of mistakes that have affected Alabama A&M, Izzy. Those mental errors are some things that you really want to get past. The last thing you want to do as a player is beat yourself.
I agree. You have to stay tuned with your own mind, your own brain, and stay focused.
Well said. Tennis is really a game of focus. It's mental focus, it's physical focus to make sure your body and mind are exactly where they need to be. And there's a lot that comes into that as a player. Takes the whole package backhand here. Nice back and forth, but it'll be won by Hollis. He'll grasp yet another point, and that should mean that we'll see, yeah, should be 40-0 potentially, and we'll wait here to make sure. He'll head back over towards the back line. And if that is according correct scoreboard, that should mean that Hollis will take the next point and could potentially seal this one for MTSU. So definitely the match that you want to be watching right now here, folks. Just joining us, MTSU on the verge of potential victory against the Bulldogs. And kind of the calm before the storm taking place here. And that serve will be ruled out of play, which means that Nietzsche is currently under the spotlight in the biggest way right now. Has to make sure to deliver an accurate serve here. And hits it right past, oh, it's gonna rule it out of bounds. So Nietzsche saw that ball fly just outside. I think that was a good call as he just outside the back line. And Hollis will have to hold off the celebration for just a little bit longer as he tries to clinch it here on Super Senior Friday. Again, MTSU trying to close out the home regular season in a big way here against the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. And that one again will be out of bounds, so another kind of misstep there. We saw that with Stepan Hollis, kind of struggled with that in different points. Kind of just went out of bounds, and that'll head back to Hollis. So That will be a point for Nietzsche. So again, Alabama A&M refusing to go away that easily. So MTSU continuing to find ways to have to deal with Alabama A&M. So Bulldogs you're not going to be a team that's going to be denied very easily. And they will now swap sides with the ball. Now a 5-3 game between Hollis and Nietzsche.
Definitely working their way through these sets.
And looking back on the scoreboard behind us here, MTSU has now clinched victory, so the Blue Raiders have taken the win over the Alabama A&M Bulldogs 4-0, according to the latest scoreboard update. So your Blue Raiders will extend their record to 24-3. What an impressive job by this team today, Izzy.
Well, very proud of our team. First beating Alabama and now beating this team, I think, shows a lot of dedication and a lot of hard work.
Yes, it will indeed, and actually will be 23-3, excuse me. Want to make sure to clarify that, but either way, the Blue Raiders with an impressive victory here today, and they just continue to show what they're capable of in the national conversation. We will continue to watch the rest of these games play out here, so do not go anywhere here as we're going to make sure that these final games are ended. Oh my goodness, Stephon Hollis absolutely dynamited that one, and looked like he hit a bunch of TNT, and was a perfectly done play by Stephon Hollis, and that will give him another opportunity here. He's very close to closing this one out. Going around the Adams Tennis Complex right now, current scores are 5-3 on court 1, which is the match we're currently covering with Hollis and Nietzsche. Over on court 5, MTSU is up 3-0 in their second set. And MTSU has actually clinched another set as we have spoken. So again, we were talking about dominoes falling, Izzy. It is just all happening at once.
For sure.
Stuff that we haven't even saw. It's just all happening. So MTSU now only has 2 matchups remaining, up 5-0. We've already clinched victories. So at this point, what you're trying to do, Izzy, is get experience for those older and younger guys alike.
I agree with you.
And that's such a valuable experience, especially heading into the next game. We know Coach Jimmy's going to take any opportunity he can, and not having to play another game helps with you. They had to call it short early against Memphis, but they don't have that same worry here against A&M. So MTSU with the 5-0 advantage. And Hollis currently up 5-3 here in this matchup. With this victory, he can clinch an MTSU 6-0 lead. And we'll be heading to split screen here shortly so we can get a view of both of these final remaining courts. But Izzy, we've had a great day so far here, and I know the fans have enjoyed what they've seen as well.
I think all the fans have really enjoyed this finishing strong to these match. So I think that we can finish strong with seeing these 2 courts.
And that's what we're going to go split screen right now here. Mattia Bernardi and Lawrence, and Hollis and Nietzsche currently both in action, both within at least 2 points of closing their respective singles matchups. So we're going to close this one out here in dramatic fashion at the Adams Tennis Complex, the Cathedral of Tennis, and it's laid host to some historic things here. And while both courts have a little bit of a break in the action, you know, I think one thing we always talked about is when the streak ended, obviously the big home winning streak earlier in the season, I think that was a moment of concern, a moment where how would MTSU respond? And I think they've responded in kind. They have not lost a match since, Izzy. That shows this team's resiliency and how historic of a season they have made this one.
I agree. I think even though that was a loss, I think we've learned a lot from it, and our team was able to grow and realize that, you know what, we can keep going and we can keep pushing and we can keep winning. So I think that is shown, and definitely shown throughout the matches today.
It's those moments as athletes that test your resiliency and test what you're capable of. If you can overcome those huge hurdles in life and not let that doubt creep in, and MTSU and Coach Borndame have absolutely not let that doubt creep in, and now they're going to try to clinch this one out in big fashion and keep that momentum rolling into the CUSA tournament. That ball will fly off the net for Lawrence on the left side of your screen. On the right side, Hollis and Nietzsche about to get back into action as well. See how far back Stephon is currently sitting. He'll wait for this one. And Hollis will go out of bounds there.
Stephon was just making him run up to that net where he was just chilling back there waiting for the ball to come to him.
Yes, he was. Meanwhile, on the right side, Bernardi rules that one out of bounds against Lawrence, and that will give Bernardi another point there in his singles matchup. Meanwhile, Hollis, again, ever closer, but got to admire Nietzsche. He was down 5-2, and it looked like that match was all but over, but has now clawed his way back to a 5-4 game, so MTSU might not get the clean sweep they were hoping for in this one.
That's true.
Both now in the middle of volleys here on each side. Backhands and forehands flying everywhere, and it looks like Hollis might have had that one fall out of bounds, and it looks like Bernardi might have scored the point over on his side. And MTSU having varying levels of success. We saw Hollis have a few issues getting some corner shots in earlier. Wouldn't have fared well for him in pool. He was just outside the marker, trying to get that to work here in the matchup. And I think, like we said, Izzy, it's going to come down to whether or not he can decrease that power in an effective and efficient manner. On the left side, Lawrence currently serving. And that one just inside. Nice scoop shot. And Bernardi, the freshman, getting the job done as it will fly into the green patches once again.
Very nice.
Very nice indeed, and has shown some great resiliency throughout and did a great job of scoring that point. Meanwhile, on your right side, Hollis and Nietzsche back in action. And looks like that one will fall out of bounds. Nice call by Hollis there. Recognized that that ball was going to be out of play. And like we said, that mental focus, all the more important for a player here at this moment.
Yeah, definitely have to stay focused to make sure you can win this out because you are so close and you don't want it to go to waste.
Lawrence's ball and serve will head into the net that time. He'll get another opportunity from the right side. And he's going to get another opportunity to serve here. High arcing serve into the box, and looks like that one will fall out of bounds. Meanwhile, on the right side, Hollis's ball will also looks like fly out of bounds. So a couple of points scored for A&M that time. And you got to imagine, Izzy, that the Bulldogs could at least take something away if they could get a couple victories here in these singles matchups.
That would be really nice for them to have one win under their belt, or two.
Yes, and we know A&M is going to regardless be 2-13 after today's matchup. And really, it was MTSU grasping that early doubles point. It's been kind of their calling card this year. Whenever they've been able to get that doubles point, it's been basically up, up, and away, and they've been able to take advantage and really claim victories in a very quick and successive manner.
Yeah, definitely getting that first doubles point is a great path to success.
It establishes a very big overall, and so we'll head back here on the graphic and head over to the sideline, and look who's supporting from the sideline. We got Stein Slump over there, and they're going to run over. Well, come on back, guys. We need you for the camera shot. Okay, so we got some nice supporters, and they're going to head back over to watch their team. I got to say, it's always great. And, oh, there they come. They're coming through the shot right now. We got a couple runners here going across the court. No, folks, those aren't people just invading the game. Those are some of your favorite MTSU tennis players with the cardboard cutouts. And actually looks like, as we were speaking, Stepan Hollis, that's why they were running. Stepan Hollis has taken his victory. So it's now 6-0 for MTSU. And he gets the 6-4 victory in the second set, a hard-earned victory as well. As we saw him have to overcome a lot of struggles. He was up 5-2, but again, Nietzsche was not going to go away without a fight. But Stepan Hollis showed what he was capable of and gets the win on Senior Sunday.
I know, such a great success for him having to win this home game. I think during Senior
Friday, yes.
as you said,
Sunday, yes.
I think is really important to show the team that dedication and hard work definitely pays off, and having his teammates support him and show him some love after his match, I think, is really valuable.
Lawrence makes the Hulk Hogan point right there to the tennis ball, and he's going to take it from the right side now. And he's going to head out back here and get another opportunity from the serving margin. This is the last game for MTSU and A&M here today. MTSU has already clinched victory if you're just joining us, up 6-0 in this matchup, trying to get one final victory here for the freshman, Mattia Bernardi. We're going to be going to iPad cam here in just 1 second. And another nice shot of the team. There's Coach Jimmy Borndame there right in the center up against the net, and all smiles from the sideline. Stein Slump joining in, and you can tell they've had a really fun day. It's just been a really great day overall for MTSU tennis. Already got the victory over number 37 Memphis in dominant fashion, Izzy, 4-0. As we're going to head back over towards the matchup, Mattia Bernardi and Lawrence. And Bernardi now up 5-1 in his matchup, so just 1 point away, Izzy, from clinching this one. And what a big job it would be if they could get the clean sweep.
I agree. I think having his teammates right there by his side, knowing that, they support him and they are ready to see this victory, I think will come in strong with hopefully a clean sweep.
And I got to say, I'm loving these alternative angles. It's always fun to see how the other tennis players are interacting with this game. They don't just go away whenever the other players win and whenever they win. They're here to watch their team follow through, and they're really supporters of their team throughout. You got to love what you're seeing from those other players, and trying to see if Mattia can clinch this one here. Mattia with a nice backhand. Backhand special does not work that time, falls into the center of the net, and Mattia will take things from the top once more. And again, want to thank the fans for another great afternoon of tennis here, first against Memphis and now against Alabama A&M, and have not deserted at all so far. Got to love what they've done, and really all season they've made the Adams Tennis Complex a great place to be, especially for these men's tennis matchups.
I would definitely agree with you.
Bernardi's going to take this one back from the top. And it looks like that one was rolled out of bounds. From the right side. And he hits the boom once again into the net. So Bernardi will get another nice point that time, and really well done against Lawrence. Lawrence will have to gather himself back up. And actually might have been out. We're going to wait the official ruling. Either way, it will be Bernardi serving from the left side this time. And, you know, we talk about how close it is to call some of these. Tennis really is a game of inches, Izzy. It's so easy and so to really make a mistake and not get the ball, as we see it once again as it just goes outside the box. But you have to be really dead on accurate to make sure you get the ball right where you want it to be.
And it's definitely a game of honesty, too, because you're pretty much the one making the calls. There is the referee there, but you're choosing, is it in or out, because you are right there watching it. So you have to be focused and stay cautious to where the ball is landing.
Great point. Tennis, one of the few sports where the players make the call. And that call will definitely be out of bounds, as Lawrence, as well as everyone else, could see that one fell outside of the out-of-bounds line. And it will result in Bernardi getting the ball back here. Another opportunity. Again, just 1 point away from a clean sweep for MTSU. And it would take a Bills v. Oilers 1992 comeback for Lawrence to have any opportunity here to take this one. But never say never in the world of sports, folks. I've learned that many times over and over. But no comeback alive will help Alabama A&M to take victory, as like we said, MTSU already claiming this one up 6-0. Currently going to come out of this one with a 23-3 record, like we said before. And Izzy, I got to say, I cannot wait to see where MTSU will lie in the next ITA rankings.
I agree. I think we really pushed ourselves this season, and that's even showing in this match. And I think we worked really hard.
And, oh, wow, what a shot that was. Oh, my goodness.
That is perfect.
Mattia Bernardi, Johnny on the spot, up and over. What a great play that was. And Lawrence got caught on his feet, didn't know where the ball was. It was almost like a pop fly, and when it came back down to earth, it was the perfect spot for Mattia Bernardi. Very nicely done.
I think Lawrence was scooting up thinking maybe he can get a little overhead, a little hit on Bernardi, but he knew exactly what to do.
Bernardi will get another opportunity with the serve here. Anticipation building to see if Mattia can take this final point. Ball will fall into the net, and that will do it. So Mattia Bernardi gets it done. Clean sweep for MTSU, 7-0, as the Blue Raiders take win number 23 on the season. Exclamation point for MTSU, and look at the celebration from the other players. They're happy, they're excited, and they like what they've seen, as has everyone here at the Cathedral of Tennis, the Adams Tennis Complex. High fives from Chris Hedge, Stein Slump alike. And
what a perfect senior ceremony Friday.
Well said, and quick announcement here over the PA. And for anyone in the Adams Tennis Complex, we've got a drawing, I believe, taking place here at the bottom tennis courts. So anyone here in the Adams Tennis Complex, and here they all come. They're all going to see what that's all about. But like we said, Izzy, what an incredible performance by MTSU. Really had everything come together in a brilliant manner. And even in the moments where they were having some issues, having looked like they might have some troubles, they really found a way to make a consistent and dominant performance.
They were definitely able to stay focused to finish out these games, and having first that doubles point and then winning the first set and then winning the second set was just a great path to success.
Well said, and we're going to be going to break here shortly. I got to say, cannot wait to see what Jimmy Borendame and many others have to say here going forward. And we're going to see how that will be here in just a second, as we're going to get their vantage point. But Izzy, like we said, what an incredible day it truly has been.
I agree. It's been a really great day. First winning our first game against Memphis, and now here I think has been really valuable.
And we're going to take another short break here momentarily. When we return, we'll have the coach's post-game interview and our player of the game. This is MTN Sports coverage of Blue Raider tennis here on CUSA.TV. Don't go anywhere.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet far. Fight! 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got two.
I'm going to that game.
Welcome back to the Cathedral of Tennis, the Adams Tennis Complex, and we are standing by with the man of the hour himself, Mr. Stephon Hollis. And Stephon, what an incredible day it has been for you, and what a great performance you had against Alabama A&M, and we're so thankful that you're here with us today.
I mean, yeah, it's a very unique day. Hopefully, I mean, I know it's like the last match of regular season, but hopefully we can be in top 16 and host the NCAA. So hopefully not my last match here, because I really enjoy it to play in front of Murfreesboro fans, and so it's been an incredible ride. I'm really appreciate that I could join. So I really appreciate the coaches and also the team, how they accepted me to the team, and yeah, incredible ride so far. So, and I hope we will still keep going.
Well said, and again, congratulations on this victory. So I kind of leaning into that, I wanted to ask, what does this day really mean to you as a player and as a person?
I mean, it's like, you come to America with kind of idea, like you want to still play, and but also to have a sort of degree in your education. So it's great. like you can do both actually here, right? So and yeah, it's been 4 years with this one 5th year. So I mean, I enjoy every second here in America, and yeah, I'm really appreciative to everything what the people has done for me here.
Having that you played today your doubles match with your other senior partner, Chris Edge, what does that mean to you, having him by your side and having that great communication with each other?
I mean, Chris is an incredible guy. I mean, hit the milestone over here of 100 wins with the singles and 100 wins with the doubles. We also lived in the same apartment, so we see each other a lot. And yeah, we had so much fun so far in doubles, and yeah, it's been great.
Well said, well said. And obviously a huge day in terms of your life. But got to ask, with all that going on, how did you put that all aside and really focus on the task at hand, that is winning and playing well in the game?
What do you mean? Say again.
Yeah,
Sorry.
like how did you put kind of the overall atmosphere of the day aside and just kind of play your brand of tennis?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long day. We played great against Memphis. And yeah, we just came back. And yeah, everyone performed well from 1 to 6, so perfect day.
So a lot of your guys' matches have been outdoor versus indoor. What do you think is the biggest effect between the two of those?
Indoors is a little bit like no effect of weather. You know, last week we played Texas Tech, or actually 2 weeks ago, and yeah, it's been a little bit. It was a little bit cold, but over here it's great atmosphere. When people come, it can get really loud over here at ATC. So yeah, really love it.
Well said, well said. Thank you all so much for really giving us this opportunity to interview you, and again, congratulations on what an incredible day it's been, and good luck on the rest of your season.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, great words there from Stefan Hollis, Izzy, and I got to say, it's been really inspiring and great to hear his story. He's been such a huge member of the MTSU tennis community, and got to love what he's had to say.
I definitely agree with you.
All right, now we're going to be sending in Coach Jimmy Borendane, the head coach of Middle Tennessee men's tennis. And Coach Borendane, what a great performance it was for you today. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
All right, so let's start off with the first question. How is this victory, obviously a couple big victories today against Memphis and now against Alabama A&M, how does this stretch of momentum, you haven't lost since Notre Dame, how is it going to translate to the upcoming postseason?
Oh, you know, I really don't talk about the past too much. Just try to, you know, analyze like what we did today, and the boys will actually we're taking the weekend off. I forgot. So we're gonna enjoy the weekend, and then we'll get after it on Monday. So yeah, I've got my notes, and I'll go through them, and you know, we'll just keep building. You know, we enjoy the past and dwell in it, but just keep looking for things to improve on.
I saw you get really emotional when talking about our seniors today during the senior ceremony. Can you tell me a little bit about your guys' relationship with Chris Edge and Stefan Hollis?
I don't know. You might have seen somebody else there. I don't think that was me. Was that me?
Maybe.
I think so.
We didn't get that on video, did we? So hey, if it's not on video, it didn't happen. But you know, I just, you know, it's weird. You know, Middle Tennessee, it's a great school. It's you know, we got a great tennis program. You know, and these guys, these guys are playing great tennis. You know, it's so easy now to transfer with the transfer portal, and here I am, like some of the best players in school history, and you know, they don't want to go someplace else. Like, they don't want to go to some Power 5 place, and you know, they probably get, you know, a Gatorade like every 10 minutes or something, or a bar or whatever. They want to stay here. They're having a great experience. You know, we do such a good job with the crowd, and we treat the boys well, and they get better. I think they get better, and that's why they stay. And I'm just honored that, you know, they want to stick around and be a Blue Raider.
Well said, and I got to say, leaning into that, obviously these guys are going to be legends for MTSU tennis for all time, but also we saw a lot of great young players today, such as Mattia, making great plays and winning games. How impressed were you with the younger players today, especially the freshmen like Oscar and Mattia?
Yeah, you know, that's kind of the double-edged sword. You know, we've got such stronger older players, and then, you know, it's hard. We can't always showcase this young talent that we have. And we have a lot of depth. I mean, for only having 9 guys, I mean, number 9 is those guys, or 7, 8, 9 are just as good as the other guys. The difference is some of them are 22 and some of them are 18 and 19, and so you know, kind of shy on the side of you know, experience.
So I was talking a little bit to Sapon Hollis a little bit about how different it is from playing indoor to outdoor. Have you been preparing by playing outdoors during practices, or what is it to make sure that you're on your toes depending on the weather and the temperature?
Yeah, so the weather in Tennessee, it's so hit or miss. It's just like, I mean, I don't know, these boys, are we in, are we out, are we, what's going on? And so pretty much if the weather is even close, it's even close to 50. I mean, I buy the guys all that warm Nike stuff, or I don't know what it's called, whatever, long underwear, long pants, long sweatshirts, and I get it for them, and we just go outside. I mean, we're going to tough it out. We were down in Montgomery for the blue gray, and it was freezing. I mean, but there's no indoor courts. There's no other options. So, we got to be outside tough. And, we call ourselves the Blue Army because we're blue collar and we can play in anything. And so that's kind of what I expect from the guys.
Well said, well said. And again, we thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to interview you here today. And again, congratulations on the victory and enjoy it, Coach.
Hey, thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Well, great words there from Coach Jimmy Izzy, and I got to say, really impressive stuff from MTSU all around. Really a complete package day, and I think everything you could have asked for, especially on a special Senior Friday.
I agree. I think today was two really great victories. Having Senior Friday has really shown that our team has worked really hard, and I'm really proud of Chris Edge and Sapon Hollis for pulling through.
Well said, well said. And again, we thank you all so much for tuning in here today. We are going to close this thing out. If you've missed this or any of our previous matches, you can find them by visiting our website, Middle Tennessee News, or check out the other CUSA matches on CUSA.tv. You also find a full schedule of the upcoming men's and tennis women's matches. And thank you all so much for watching MTN Sports here on CUSA.tv. We'll see you all next time, and thank you so much for tuning in.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet far. Fight! 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got two.
I'm going to that game.